Limited. Basically, it's a service-based company. We have working as an ERP, which is used in the international airports. Which basically it's an airline catering system. The system will prepare a food for the all the flights, which will have the different customers who are using our application. We have a airport like catering units in all international airport, including Hyderabad and all the international airport location. We do have the catering units. The caterers will cater the food. Our application has to maintain the vendors information, inventory management, and in terms of preparing the food, we have to give in terms of instruction and forecasting in the next 15 days for each client wise or each country or region wise. We do have to get that all the items from the vendors, and we'll pay the fees to the vendor, and we'll get the invoice from the customer. We communicate with the SAP system for financial aspects. We have communicated with the MuleSoft to get that information from the different customers data in terms of each flight, how many of the passengers, what is the food information for a particular passengers we have to serve, and the seat information. We have to prepare the label for each food item and push it back to the galleys. From that galley, the servers will serve the food inside the flight. This is what the high level of the application flow. We have different APIs we have consumed, and we have implemented different APIs because each customer is having their own in terms of the data. These APIs, what it will do is it will push the data into the staging table. From that staging table to our quad job will pick and process the data and validate the data. If any validation, will send a notification to the users, and if it is a valid data, it will try to move to our target location. From the target location, we will do some checks in terms of preparing the food instruction to the caterers. Caterer will cater the food and print the labels on the top of the boxes and push it back to the galleys inside a flight. This is what that flow is happening in our application.
Okay, that's good. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So technical, if we talk about technical stack, so you are mostly work with C#, .NET, and like
yeah,
6 Web API, okay, and
microservices,
database,
yeah,
microservices. Okay, that's good. So what's your approach to? I mean, how you implement the OOPS concept in .NET application? So suppose, okay, let's not jump into the definitions and everything.
Okay.
So I suppose, tell me one scenario where I can take, where I can reap the advantage of interfaces.
Correct, exactly. Yeah, it's a wonderful advantage of using interface in terms of dependency injection. In terms of, I want to give the definition to the consumers, which they want to consume our application. I don't want to show that how the functionality is implemented inside the project. I want to give that a structure of the particular functionality or module. And let's say I have the definition in terms of customer API. The customer API has to save the data, update the data, delete the data, and update the addresses in terms of the APIs. I can define of the functionality in an interface. I can give that interface only to the customers. The customer will communicate our APIs by using these standards. I don't want to show the implementation. In terms of the repository pattern, example, the repository pattern abstraction happen over the interface. In terms of, I don't want to show how the functionality is implemented inside the code with the business logic layer. I want to hide it. I want to give the definition to the consumer. They will call those methods and create an object. They will call the method. I don't want to give it how the data is saved, where the data is saved, and which database we are saving, whether we are using the stored procedures or link queries. These are all the kinds abstraction is happening over an interface. That is one of the advantage. And another advantage in terms of the dependency injection, As a dependency injection, we are registering in terms of the types as an interfaces. Whenever the DI will identify which type has for requested for an object, it will try to create an object for the specific type, and it will give an object to that whatever the caller or callee. I don't want to bother about how to create an object, how to destroy an object, and all the things. These are taken care by the dependency injection because of the interfaces.
Okay. So you talked about dependency injection.
Yeah.
So dependency injection is a part of solid principles.
Yeah, in the D is a dependency inversion control. It has to be taken care by the other framework for creation of an object and destroy and lifetime of an object.
D is dependence. So yeah, in solid principles, D stands for a dependency injection.
No, dependency inversion. Inversion in terms of inversion of the control by the user. Generally the object creation taken care by the user as a developer who is developing. In this case, it is taking the control inversion from the developer. Other framework is some library which has taken care of the responsibility for creation of an object. Instead of the developer has to create and destroy an object, it will take care by the DA. Dependency injection is some reusable framework has been developed by the different, like if you use the Ninject, if you use that Unity. These are the frameworks which has been developed for support the dependency injection. In .NET Core, by default, it will come up with a dependency injection to do all the DI lifecycle.
Okay. So you talked about Unity and Ninject, right? So this is the thing. This is kind of third-party library we have to use when we use dependency injection in .NET. But in .NET Core, I heard you work with .NET Core, right? Can I ask about .NET Core?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, .NET Core.
Okay. So in .NET Core, it is already dependency injection is built in, right?
Correct.
So for that we have like three types of methods, like add transient, add singleton. You
add
know
scope.
about that?
Add scope. Yeah, I know that add transient, add singleton, add scoped. These are the three stages. The life cycle of the management is happening inside the dependency injection. For let's say if it is a singleton, if I registered an the type is a singleton, it will create only one object for entire application. It will not create a duplicate object. It will not create another object if the reference is already available. In terms of it is used the singleton pattern, it won't create the duplicate objects whenever multiple clients are requested for the similar kind of an object. That is in terms of singleton. Like transient is a concept of it will create a new request for new object for each request, whether it is a new request or old request. In terms of the request is coming to the controller, from the controller to service, we have the same injection is there in the service constructor also. It will create a new object if we have the transient. If it is a scoped type, it won't create a duplicate object if the request is the same. Let's say I have a requested for a resource like a PO controller. Inside the PO controller, we have a logger is an injected. And again, in the PO, we are calling as a service like PO register service as an injected. In the PO service also, we have an injection of logger. In the scoped one, it won't create a duplicate object. It won't create a two objects. It will create a one object. It will try to check whether the request is the same request or the new request. if based on that request type it is trying to check whether it is a scoped one, it is verified it, we have the any instance is there, it will try to get it and it will serve for the application.
Okay. And what is middleware in .NET application, .NET Core application?
Middlewares basically, we want to I have a request coming, the middlewares are the request handlers which will handle like we in .NET earlier versions of the .NET we have that modules and handlers, right? Those concepts can be achieved by using the middlewares. Each middleware has the unique responsibility. Once the middleware has to be pass the next piece of middlewares in a request pipeline or short circuiting the middleware.
Okay. So when we talk about C Sharp, it has some keywords. So if you take an example of read only and constant,
Okay.
right? So what is the difference between these two? It looks like the value cannot be changed. Something like read only is like we cannot write it. Constant is like it's not a variable. So what is the difference between these two keywords?
The basic difference which I saw, the read only and constant. Constant is a class level constant. Like if I declare a variable by using constant, we can't change. It is a uh, class level variable, and it is one that the initialization and declaration has to be done in a single once in it at a only once. It is not possible to declaration one time and initialize the next time. In read only, I can say it's a object level constants. There is a possibility I have declared by using the read only variable, we can change the value even though if we define it. We can the changing of the values has been done by only the constructor. It is not possible for the other inside of other methods and all the things.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So if we talk about SQL, so how familiar you are with writing queries and complex queries, and you have used stored procedures or functions?
Yeah, I am.
This kind of DB objects you have written?
We have used so many ways and doing the optimization by using execution plan and primary secondary database, creating the partitioning and creating the cluster, making the primary and secondary replica, using the stored procedure, using an indexes to perform and more optimization, using the temp table variable and CTEs. Whenever we want to have that application, it is getting performance degradation, right? If we want to add a new column to the existing table, we want to add that column into the index. And if any of the stored procedures are getting slower, we want to optimize it further in terms of multiple users are trying with the same table locking mechanism. On all the concepts we are using and we are implementing and we are making an application faster uh, in terms of better performance.
So what are table variables and temp tables?
Yeah, table variables. Table variable is a kind of variable. We can't do the any DML operation on a table variable. The table variable, it is also not a bit, it's look like a variable, but temp table it looks like a temp table will be reside on the temp db. We can also do that indexing, we can also do that DML operation on the top of the table variable, we can also do the performance implementation implication by using the table variable like temp tables, like local temp table, global temp table. But table variable, the scope is in within a block, I can say, the table variable.
Okay. So you have used like CTE in SQL?
Yeah, CTE we have used.
So can I write when the syntax of CTE, like you start with the with keyword and then give the name as CTE, then use as keyword, then you do some query and then you close it and you write the select statement, right?
Yeah.
So if I write update statement, can I write update statement after CTE and update the CTE?
You can write an update, but the CTE lifetime will be we can't able to access the CTE after that update statement.
Suppose
Mm-hmm.
I've created a CTE like with ABC, ABC CTE, and then there is a select star from.
Select star from the CTE name or select star from other table?
Inside the CTE, I'm writing select name and ID from employee where ID is equal to 5. So this will go to the CTE that I just created, right?
Okay.
And CTE name is like my CTE, right?
Okay.
So if I write update CTE, update my CTE where ID is equal to 1, can I write that? Update CTE.
Update CTE. No, I think.
Can I write? Okay, select statement I can write. Can I write insert?
No.
What are the
only the select operation is permittable for the CTEs.
Okay.
And the join also we can join it.
Yeah, we can join. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So in Azure, you have worked with Azure also. So
correct.
You have worked like Azure functions, the storage, AKS, app service, Azure Key Vault, Pass, okay, service bus, Azure AD, and customers. Why did you use Azure Key Vault? What is stored in that?
Yeah, the Azure Key Vault, which is used to store our the secret information in terms of the database connection string and SMTP credentials. Instead of saving into the app settings.json, app setting production.json, right? It will try to save in terms of the secrets in the Azure Key Vault. In the those information we can read app configuration by using the Azure Key Vault service provider and Azure identity provider. We can connect to the Azure Key Vault by using the whatever the connection string, and it will get that value, and we can inject it for further using. Instead of, let's say, if I save that the secret information in some app settings.json, some of the hackers may hack that the connection string, and there is a always possibility if we want to expose that information in terms of a plain manner, instead of saving into the secrets into the some the server secret variable, or in terms of using the Azure using as a secret keys and value, we can give the key as a connection string and we can provide that value as a connection string. It will automatically converting into the some byte format, and it will by using the Azure Key Vault service provider and Azure identity manager, we will get the key and the value information we can inject further.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And app services, you created your app service by, going to that as a portal, or you can deploy it within Visual Studio as well. How you prefer, how to set
we have two ways, like non-prods we have done by using our Visual Studio by using the service plan and our Azure credentials, and the production we don't have an access. They will have that their own the production team to do the swapping and to do that the backups, and before doing the build they will do the swaps, and they will also do the some backups to perform an operation.
Right. Okay. So you have used link query ever?
Yeah, we have used link query.
So what is the difference between select and select many extension method given by link?
Yeah, select it will like if you have that the name is available in the list. I have the name Ramu is available 2 times, and the child also, like the parent and child tables are also there. I have used, but I need to.
Basically, select many will flatten the nestedness.
Yes.
You have not lost the connection. I am just going through your CV actually.
Okay.
Yes. So I am quiet. So you're following agile approach, right?
Yes. Yes.
How long your sprint planning is?
Yeah. Sprint planning is 3 weeks. Our sprint planning.
Your sprint is of 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. For the first 2 weeks, the QA. Third week is in UAT. The business team will validate. Once the third week, once it is approved, and it will move to the from UAT to production. In the third, let's say the 2 weeks of the development is happening, the QA team will test it, and the development team will test it, and it will pass it. Third week is the next week, the sprint, the review meeting. The same time, the business will validate it. If you have any issues, we'll focus on the analyzing the next week, next release zeras, as well as supporting to the UAT bugs if any of the business users raised.
And which tool you are using for version control? Is it Git or TFS?
Git only. Online Visual Studio, Azure DevOps.
Is it DevOps Git?
Yeah.
Okay, Ramu, I have asked what I had to ask, and I'm done from my side. Anything you would like to ask, I would be happy to answer.
Okay, I want to know what is the project requirements. Is it in .NET Core, or is it previous .NET version, or what is exactly the looking for the candidate? Can I know it?
Yeah, so we have multiple applications.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like juncture of the application. So, and some are in .NET and some are in .NET Core. Some are stored in TFS. Some are stored in Azure DevOps Git. And automation for all of them are automated. Deployment is automated for all of them using Azure CI/CD pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one thing is sure, we are using SQL database, and we are using web APIs. We are using Angular as a front end.
Okay.
But there are some application in .NET, and there are some application in .NET Core,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends where you are tagged in. So yeah, that's the structure.
Okay. Okay. Thanks very much.
Okay, so thank you very much, and it was nice talking to you. And I'll pass the feedback to HR, and she will communicate for further.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks for your time on weekend also. Bye bye.